Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome. Today we're testing the ultimate mini cordless planer from Bosch, specifically the GHO 12V-20. A super compact 12-volt cordless planer with quite solid performance figures. But what does this mini planer really offer? How does it perform in the test? And whether investing in it is worthwhile compared to perhaps opting for the larger 18-volt version. Precisely these questions we'll answer together in today's video. So let's get started right away, but if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to never miss a video in the future. You can find the current prices to support this channel down below in the video description. Thank you very much for your support, and now let's get started after the intro. A solid 18-volt cordless planer like this one here, the DKP 181 from Makita, is certainly quite practical. On the other hand, it's not exactly lightweight. But for those who prefer something more compact, I definitely have the right thing for you in today's video. Specifically, we're talking about this 12-volt mini cordless planer from Bosch, the GHO 12V-20. As you can see, compared to the 18-volt device here in the background, the 12-volt cordless planer is obviously much more compact and smaller. But what exactly does this mini planer offer, and how does it perform in terms of power? That's what we're going to take a detailed look at in today's video. For those of you who haven't seen the video of the 18-volt device from Makita yet, you can also watch that one again. I'll link the video up here in the top right of the info card, because now we can take a detailed look at the Bosch mini device. In the standard package of the Solo variant, there isn't much included. We received the actual 12-volt cordless planer and the user manual in multiple languages. Also supposed to be included are 2 additional blades, which for some reason were not included in my case. Charger and batteries need to be purchased separately in this case, or you may already have them. Nevertheless, everything necessary is here on the table to start using the planer directly, so we can take a look at the device right away. Starting with the exterior, alongside the very high quality and extremely robust construction we're accustomed to from Bosch, of course, the size and weight stand out. This is a 12-volt battery-operated device, which we can only operate with the 12-volt batteries from Bosch. Accordingly, this cordless planer is compact. The battery compartment is, as we're accustomed to from the 12-volt devices, directly behind the handle, so that the 12-volt batteries can be inserted directly into the handle, making the device only minimally larger compared to an 18-volt device. The Solo variant without a battery weighs only around 1,520 grams. Plus, with this small 12-volt 3Ah battery, we reach a gross weight of a whopping 1,700 grams. However, if you want more power and endurance, you should opt for the 12-volt 6Ah battery. This brings us to around 1,900 grams. This means that even with a large 12-volt 6Ah battery, this cordless planer is still extremely lightweight and super handy. Speaking of which, regarding handling, I can say that the device is, as seen, very top-heavy. This means that the center of gravity is not here at the rear in the handle area, but approximately at the level of the blade drum, which, however, does not have a negative effect in practice, as the device mostly rests on the surface anyway. The ergonomics of the handle are quite good in practice, with the shape being identical to that of other 12-volt devices from Bosch. Because the 12-volt battery is inserted from the rear into the handle. Thus, the handle itself is quite thick in the rear area, which, in my opinion, due to the rubberization, allows for a sufficiently good grip. The most important controls in the handle area are completely red, as you can see. This includes a continuous bolt for unlocking the machine for the thumb and, directly below it, a trigger for activation for the index finger. Both controls are easily accessible from the handle and operate smoothly. Additionally, the machine can be operated easily with both hands. Not to forget, one of the most important elements, right at the front, the depth adjustment. The mini planer has a sufficiently large knob, allowing us to adjust the planing depth precisely in several steps. The GHO 12V-20 from Bosch has, as the name suggests, a maximum planing depth of a solid 2 millimeters. The planing depth is adjusted by the knob on the front in several steps. The set planing depth is displayed by this small mark here in the top right corner. This means that the planing depth can be easily read in any position. And furthermore, particularly with this device, we have two adjustment ranges. This means here on the right side, the normal power range, and on the left side, here in red, the maximum power range. This means in the normal range, I can set the planing depth in 0.1 millimeter increments up to a maximum of 1 millimeter until I reach the bottom here. To access the maximum power range, I need to press this red button. Only then can I go beyond this stop and further up to a maximum of 2 millimeters. This means that Bosch already imposes a slight limitation to 1 millimeter here. I'm curious to see if this mini 12-volt cordless planer can handle the 2 millimeters in terms of performance. What else is there to mention? Of course, right below is the chip ejection. This can be limited by a small plastic insert on the right or left side. And let's not forget, this device is also compatible with the click and clean system. This means we can easily connect the vacuum cleaner to this cordless planer. The heart of this planer, on the other hand, is located on the underside, namely the installed blade drum. Also very visible here, it's simply a mini planer, meaning we have a planing width of 56 millimeters. Otherwise, in terms of performance, we also only have one planer blade here and not two, as with the 18-volt models. The planer blade itself is a reversible blade, and the practical thing about it is that all the necessary accessories are included to be able to change the blade directly. For that, let's take a look at the back. Here, in the battery compartment, there's a small Allen key with which we can loosen the screws of the blade. And now, hold on, down here, also in red to see, directly integrated into the foot of the machine is another blade. I have to admit, I find that extremely practical, especially with such a compact device. The device is powered, who would have guessed, by a brushless motor. It's also prominently labeled on the side. This makes the device not only very efficient, but also sufficiently powerful. In practice, I tested this cordless planer in conjunction with a large 12-volt 6-ampere-hour battery, which I'd fully charged beforehand, and a brand new blade. The basis for this was an approximately 50 millimeter wide wooden beam, where I conducted several consecutive attempts, incrementing the planing depth by 0.1 millimeters each time. I started with a mere 0.1 or 0.2 millimeters, which, of course, only provided the first fine surface finishing, and thus posed no real obstacle for the cordless planer. Similarly, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5 millimeters. Absolutely no difficulties were noticeable. Neither a performance nor a speed drop could be observed in this test, and all this while maintaining a consistently high surface quality. However, it became significantly more interesting in the range of 0.6, 0.7, and 0.8 millimeters, because here the planer had a bit more of a struggle. This means a slight drop in speed and power was palpable without question. Nevertheless, the surface quality remained quite good. Finally, I tested 0.9 and 1 millimeter in the normal power range. Here, overall, the results were identical to before, only I reduced the speed a bit to achieve the same surface quality, because here it was noticeable that the planer was slowly reaching its limits. For this reason, I was somewhat skeptical regarding the maximum power range of 1 to 2 millimeters. Nevertheless, I dared to take on the challenges with the 12-volt planer. Unfortunately, I had to experience directly that anything in the maximum power range is no longer sustainable. This means 1.1, 1.2 millimeters might still be possible, then it's practically impossible to work smoothly anymore. We have maximum speed and maximum power drops. If not, even overload protection kicks in. This means smooth work is no longer possible, and the surface quality simply deteriorates drastically. Not to forget, in the high power range, the planer sometimes struggles to clear the shavings automatically. This means the ejection chute gets clogged, so I had to manually empty it several times during the test, which I also found somewhat cumbersome. By the way, after the test, the cordless planer showed a remaining capacity of still 3 bars with the large 12-volt 6 Ah battery, which are undoubtedly good results and indicate a high endurance of the cordless planer. In summary, I can say that this mini planer from Bosch, the GHO 12V-20, has definitely performed quite well considering its intended purpose. This means this cordless planer is not for heavy-duty planing of large wooden beams or the like, but it's aimed at really delicate work. So, this device is particularly recommended for those who simply don't need the power of a large 18-volt cordless planer because they only have to work on small 20mm boards, small wood constructions, and therefore need a much handier, much lighter device like this 12-volt planer. At this point, I'm curious to know what applications do you see for this small mini planer from Bosch? Have you perhaps already had experience with this device? Feel free to share your opinion, your experience in the comments below. I'm looking forward to your feedback. And with that, I would say that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please show it with a hearty thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to never miss a video in the future. You can find the current prices to support this channel down in the video description. Thank you very much for your support, and with that, take care until next time. Goodbye.